Okay, this came up yesterday and it's come up several times now. So if we have an awning window or a pivot window, I should say, where we want to adjust the pivot height of that rotation, up until now we've used cased openings and morphs or slabs or something to represent that. Which makes scheduling a little bit difficult. It also means that we're juggling and managing multiple things. So I've come up with a solution. It's maybe has its own idiosyncrasies that might make it still kind of clunky and less desirable. You can see like not the least of which are these extra hot spots that are just kind of hanging around, not making any sense. Another issue with this, if I go to floor plan view and look right here, you'll notice that, well, I probably have to adjust some of the pen settings. If we go to maybe presentation or something, or drafting, it might make sense, but it doesn't look quite dialed in. Oh, there's a pen off right there. So I had to build this from scratch, so it's a little bit weird still sorting it out. Also, we can't show it as open in 2D because actually what I'm using here, if I go ahead and go to the display options and look at this as if it's open, say 45 degrees or something, you'll see that it's actually using a pivot door to model this. So what I found, I just want to run everybody by this because it's kind of a neat little trick. It's a setting buried in the CAD image window settings on how to make this work. So I'll go kind of step by step on what I did here. So first thing, the glazing panel layout that you would normally see in the windows. So I started with the awning window here, and then I changed the glazing panel layout to be a door, which has been useful on some things in the past. But then what that gives us is the ability to say that that door, if we go into the door settings here, is a swing door with an offset pivot. So if I wanted to adjust where that pivot was, so here it's 4 foot tall, or sorry, it says 4 foot wide. I'll get to that in a second. But that becomes the height of that door. So if I wanted to hang down 6 inches from the top of that, I can adjust that pivot point right here in the door settings, which is kind of a neat little trick. And then you go through all the usual settings for the doors. If I click on the flyout here and go to the door leaf, I can adjust the surfaces, the leaf type. You can even use a custom sash. Just bear in mind that it's rotating the sash. So the top side becomes the left side if you had a special custom sash that you needed to use for this. Same thing with hardware, and everything else just becomes the typical for the door. Now where this becomes a little bit unique and sort of, I guess, the gimmick to this is that under all parameters here, if I scroll all the way down to the bottom, there is, or near the bottom, see if I can dig it up here, there is a section in here, and I had it highlighted before, but it's like extra or additional parameters, window structure, preview, oh, right here, extra parameters. And here you can actually set the rotation of that. This was a new one to me, just digging through, but you can actually set the rotation of a window within the wall to be something other than 0, other than the typical setting. Unfortunately, with the awning window or the pivot window or anything else, there's no setting that I could find to offset that rotation point. And with the doors, there's no rotation parameter under extra parameters of the doors. So the solution really is to set the window operation or the glazing unit to be door. Again, because the awning, base hung, pivot top, pivot bottom don't have options for adjusting that pivot point. The door, however, in the door settings, we do have the option of adjusting this pivot point, and fortunately, we have an option in the all parameters for adjusting that rotation of that window unit. So all of that combined gives us the ability to say that this pivot point for an awning or pivot window is now adjustable. This is kind of a neat little trick. It does provide, like I said, it provides some unique challenges maybe with scheduling, obviously with the clunky hotspots that it just throws out there, and then with the plan symbol that just needs to be reinvented a little bit. But I think it's pretty dang close to what we need to see in plan, and certainly closer than the morph solution that we had been using to what we wanted to see in 3D.